G'day, I'm Gavin from Hurley's Fly Fishing. If fly fishing is something you want to get into, you want to do a course with us. We'll take you up to New G and we'll teach you how to catch trout. $99, get in touch with us and we'll teach you how to be a superstar fly fisher. Beautiful. And just lovely little pocket water that you'd expect to hold a fish. And they just love this. I've gone back to the little stimulator and they just love it. He's gone between a couple of rocks. I'll get him out. And a nice little rainbow. They're just very aggressive. And beautiful little fish, you know, just for small little water, just great fun. And you can literally catch loads of them on these small little streams, so fantastic. Sorry. Now, great little tool, the catch and release, slides down over the hook and you literally just push it and it pulls that hook out. So it's a handy little tool for looking after your flies and getting them out of the fish. And that's just a beautiful little rainbow. We always talk about how aggressive they are. They're also a very pretty little fish too, with that lovely red stripe on there. It's a lovely red sash and just a beautiful little mountain fish. And upstream, as you always do, and you literally want them to swim out of your hand. So he'll kick in a minute and he'll let you know that he's ready to go. So it's good fun. Let's find another one. These are some of the nymphs. Just a little, like a little lighter coloured one. Few different little ones there. These little round tubey things are like a caddis, and so are these little caddis as well. And they build like a rock little fortress around them. That's like a mayfly nymph. And the darker they get, the closer they are to hatching. So you can see he's quite dark. He might turn into a flying insect probably quicker. This one's a little bit lighter. He might take a little bit longer. So they're what the trout sort of live on probably 90% of the time. And there's the outside, the shucks of a stonefly. So they've crawled up there, and then that's their exoskeleton. Their wings will pop out, much like a mud-eye turning into a damsel and things like that. And that's their cases left there, which is evidence that those flies are certainly in the river. Beautiful. But on a light little rod, like this Glide 2-weight, this is fantastic. And that's just a rainbow. They got plenty of go in him. Stunning red stripe. And they're terrific when they just hit that fly a million miles an hour. They're fantastic. Beautiful. And he's just red as a beetroot on the side, this one. It's just a really pretty fish, and as they all are, but this one in particular, he's really rosy at the moment. Beautiful. And it's just fantastic, you know, for these sort of fish in a river like this. It's just great fun, and I keep saying in a lot of our shows, you've got to stop and have a look around, because the scenery here is just amazing. And it really doesn't matter that much whether you catch a fish. Just being outdoors and having the opportunity to see a lot of these things and this sort of environment is just fantastic. So just handy if you do catch a couple as well. It's just an incredible red, rosy cheeks. Just a beautiful fish. I mean, he's probably half a pound, 3/4 of a pound, but on that light little 2-weight, it's just great fun. And you've got to match the gear that you're using for the fish. I'll just get him back in. You match the gear. I mean, you don't use a snapper rod to catch whiting. You know, you taper the gear to suit the the fish and the size you're going to catch, and you're going to have a lot of fun. And catching little fish like that is what it's all about on a lovely little 2-weight in a great little river. Yeah, it's much more fun than a real job, I think, anyway. So yeah. Beauty. And they're very aggressive. I mean, that's barely hit the water, and they're looking for them, and they're looking up and ready to eat something like that, and that's good. Normally, you want your first cast to be your best one, and they're going to find it. Now we're in December, which is a great time of year. If we were a little bit earlier and the water's a bit colder, we'd probably be looking to use a lot more nymphs, but because it's quite warm in December, there's a lot more dry fly, a lot of insects hatching on the surface, and they're taking a lot of dry, so that's why we're tending just to fish with a dry fly at the moment. Beautiful little fish, little mountain rainbow trout, beautiful. And away he goes, perfect. Just great fun. I don't think you'd ever get sick of catching fish like that in a place like this. So the good part about it is there's more just up there as well. A great little pool up here. Yep, oh, there you go. And that was good. Literally the moment that hit the water, that was going to take that. And that's pretty good. If I can get that net in there, it's a little bit easier. It's a nice little rainbow again, as they all have been. It's all terrific fish. There's a mixture of browns and rainbows in here, which are terrific and great fun, and just in this fast water, nice and aggressive. Alright, I'll just get him out. And they're all different. I mean, that one doesn't have anywhere near as much red on markings on them, but they're all fantastic little fish with light gear. You've got to use the right gear for it, and they're perfect. Just great fun, you know, and that's why you fly fish. I mean, it's not really always about catching fish. It's good if it happens, but if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. You still go to some pretty cool places, and that's why we do it. And particularly in small little rivers like that, catch and release, because you've really got to look after the fishery. You know, they're not always getting stocked, so you've got to make sure that you're perhaps putting them back and yeah, ensuring that somebody else who comes here can catch that as well, because that fish will go back to the same pool and you can catch him, and that's what it's all about. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today's episode on the small streams of Victoria, and they're literally scattered all around the place, so you yeah, don't just drive straight over them. You know, take your time and have a look and spend a bit of time there, because you have an awful lot of fun fishing these rivers that are literally on our doorstep. So yeah, they're good. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of On the Fly, and I look forward to catching you next time.